Honestly, I was a little unsure if I was going to be able to get today's episode watched and done. Normally, I watch it on Sunday and then start working on it the following day, but I kind of spent a good chunk of my time last week, free time-wise, working on that Danganronpa AMV that I put up, which if you haven't seen, definitely go check it out. It was a lot of fun. But, I'm making it work, We got this. Also, really pumped because the new Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation chapter went up and things got a little spicy. Really loving the manhwa. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely do. I mean, look at this. Look at that bouquet. Starts out with the poor kid running off, knowing he's like startled him and stuff, and XL ends up having kind of like a PTSD moment where his vision blurs and stuff, and I really feel bad for him. It's like the juniors, when they find out that he has the disease, they're like very skeptical because it's highly contagious and nobody else has it. And like, well, maybe it's been long cured, right? And the subordinates are like, this doesn't seem right. So now they suspect he's a ghost kid, which I'm not going to say if he is, because I really don't want to give spoilers from what I know. And there's some things I don't know for sure. During a meeting afterwards, XL finds out about, the 4 calamities. Because he doesn't know. Because he's been, spent a lot of time on Earth, with his own problems. He's very out of touch, as I mentioned previously. And we more specifically learn more about Hua Chengs and how he basically became enemy number 1 among all the gods because he challenged 35 officials and 33 rose to the challenge because he said that if he lost, he'd give them his ashes to do with what they please. But if they lost, they'd basically have to give up their godhood. And they all lost. All of them. And it's just hilarious to me, the fact that he outwitted the smart ones and he outstrengthed the freaking strong ones. And then he set all their temples and crap on fire when they refused to give up their godhood and basically live streamed everything. And so they lost all their worshippers. It's hilarious. I love the part where they describe his butterflies as being creepy and spooky and all that such things. Just vile. But XL's like, actually, I found them to be adorable. Like, he does not seem concerned at all by Hua Chengs, but I think it's also because he kind of helped him. And I mean, if I saw these butterflies, I wouldn't be like, ooh, creepy. I'd be like, this is very beautiful, personally. I don't know. And I'm not just saying that because I may simp a little bit for the Ghost King. The other gods also cannot really believe that Hua Chengs really just helped XL. They're like, he must have a motive for helping you, surely. Because this guy is shisty, and we shouldn't trust him. Also, if we may pivot, but as an adult, I really strongly identify with this goddess. Like, just how tired and overworked she is. It's like, oh, I understand you, boo. I really, really get you. Oh, it just hurt to watch these scenes. For an ascended god, she sure looks like she's living in hell, is all I'm saying. XL goes to ask her about, his huge, humongous debt, and comes to find out that through all the worship and prayer and all that such things, it's already paid off. And he's like, how? How is that possible? With one less thing to worry about, he then informs her that he's gonna go back down to the mortal realm and basically build and create his own temple and gather his own set of worshippers because he has none that he can think of, even though he for sure has one, but I'm not gonna say much more than that. And she's like, what? You're gonna do what? And he's like, yep, don't worry, I got this. So he gets this shabby, broken down shack and basically turns it into a Taoist temple that is going to be made to worship him as a god. And people are like starting to get curious and like, what the heck? Wonder what god this is supposed to be. Who would buy such a terrible rundown, piece of crap shack? The answer is this guy. This guy would. And he's already running into trouble by the first 3 people that visit him. They question him, like, who you worshiping? And he's like, XL, the former crown prince. That's who, And the guys are like, well, can he grant wishes? And XL's like, no, not really. And they're like, well, can, grant power, anything? And he's like, nah, not really. But he'll protect you. He'll do his best. And they're just not impressed. They're not. After basically calling him a trash god, which is funny in itself, they start to try to be helpful in their own way by suggesting different gods that he could worship and dedicate the temple to. And one of the people they suggest is actually one of XL's former subordinates, which is hilarious. Frickin' Nan Yang, or as they called him, basically, gigantic masculinity god, big dick energy god, because of, that miscommunication from ages ago that they talked about back in like episode 1 or 2. I can't remember. They got a laugh out of me. Also, I'm pretty sure that the guy who suggested it was a girl in the novel. Other people are mentioning it too, so I must not be wrong in my assumption, but it's still hilarious. Like, look at this guy after he asked to have them worship. He wishes he could bed XL's former subordinate. Oh my god, it's hilarious. Also, may I remind you that this is the guy who XL accidentally just toppled and destroyed his golden palace when he ascended for the first time at the start of the freaking first episode. This guy cannot catch a break. But I don't know. I feel bad. After the 3 leave, XL still remains determined. He's like, I am going to get worshippers. Just you wait, guys. Just you wait. I, a scrap metal god, will get some worshippers. He's going to have to fix up this shack of a temple, though, first. It's starting to fall apart. Look at that. Afterwards, I really liked the montage scene we saw, basically, of him going around the village and collecting scraps and trash. Just shamelessly. And everybody's just looking at him like, okay, and just giving him random trash. But he's treating them like they're treasures. And it's like, oh my god, you poor trash panda man. He ends up hitching a ride on a hay cart, and we get this cute scene of him just gushing over the trash that he got, and he's just so proud of it. It's hilarious. Well, in the cart, he actually finds out that one of the scrolls that he had managed to obtain has him mentioned in there as a god and as a former crown prince and stuff, and this, pleasantly surprises him, but definitely pleases him. It's around this time that he is talking to himself that a voice responds to him, and he finds out, wait, I'm not alone as I thought I was. And we get to finally meet Song Lan. XL is pretty impressed with Song Lan's knowledge and, just all around his apparent intelligence. The two talk about gods, more specifically like the water tyrant god and whatnot, and XL's like, you know an awful lot about gods, but what about ghosts? And then pretty much asks him, well, what do you know about Hua Chengs? So, that's just basically how it ends. I wish we would have gotten to see more of Song Lan in this episode, but you know what? That's what episode 5 is for, I guess. I gotta say, though, with there only being 11 episodes in season 1, how much are we really going to cover? How far will it go into the story before it stops? Because, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I was hoping it would at least get to where I had left off in the novel, or at least somewhat there, but I don't think it will. I don't think we're going to get to the desert arc at all. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see.